a career. In the co-main event, UFC 289, in the in the lightweight division, this almost felt like it could have been on the marquee of its own. Because
it's on my fucking marquee.
Because the king is back, ladies and gentlemen. Charles do Bronx Oliveira TKOs Beneil Dariush in the very first round. Omar, start us off with this one. Give us your take of the performance, this masterful performance
Rude.
of Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Why is that rude?
Well, because that's his boy.
But I'll at the fucking bit over here.
I'll get my thing out real quick, and then
go ahead, dude. Take your time.
We'll let Mark go. I was a little. It was an interesting little experience for me because the first part of that fight, I was like, okay, this is kind of what I expected here. Beneil's not afraid to go down to the ground with Charles.
Yeah.
He's doing well on the ground with Charles, landing some shots on the ground, not really getting abused on the ground like I feel like a lot of people in that situation would, not shying away from the ground like a lot of high-level guys have shied away from the ground with Charles. And I thought that would be one of the bigger differentials in that fight because generally guys that aren't afraid to go to the ground with Charles are usually the guys that do a lot better in fights with him than others. So I thought that would make a difference in the beginning of that first round. I thought it was. And then it occurred to me that Beneil Dariush had zero sense of the range in that fight on the feet and paid with his whole soul. And once the striking got into play towards the latter half of that round, he ate big shit, ended up on the ground. And the one thing you got to give him credit for was that rear naked choke that Charles tried to put on him. Like 99% of the time, that probably would have sunk right in with almost anybody else. But even dazed and confused, Dariush was still on top of it and would not get submitted, but he did get TKO'd. So he was correct that he might have actually won in a grappling match against Oliveira. MMA, not so much.
Okay, Mark, let us have it.
Let's go. I told you. I tried to tell everybody. Charles made me a fuck ton of money on Saturday night. That was awesome. The whole world was on Beneil Dariush. Vegas disrespecting my boy Charles and making him the dog. And the man comes through. He's a fucking animal. He showed it yet again on Saturday night. It's an argument as to whether he is the best lightweight ever, but he is certainly the most dangerous lightweight we've ever seen. He can finish you so suddenly and in so many different ways that you are never not in danger when you're in a cage with Charles Oliveira. Like, in any position, the fight could be over in the next 5 seconds. And that's what makes him so great. And that's why people love this guy. I mean, and the fucking Canadian crowd love this guy. My God. I thought they were in Brazil, it sounded like. But, yeah, man, I said it last week. I thought Charles would be able to march Beneil down and drop him in a blitz. That was the word I was using as my buzzword last week, and it's exactly what he did. And he tried to march him down early, too, and he had been saying this, that he didn't feel like he came forward enough against Islam. He kind of had abandoned what he was doing in the Poirier fights and Gaethje fights, and et cetera, and that he would do it from the opening bell in this fight. And you could tell he tried to, but they got locked up in that clinch right away. Charles tried to lift Beneil. Didn't work. They kind of lost their balance. Beneil landed on top of him. So we did get to see some grappling, which was nice. It was mostly just like Beneil swinging and missing and punching holes in the mat, to be honest. But
he landed on Charles. It wasn't consistent, but he landed on that boy.
I think he might land about
credit.
one punch.
Oh,
I didn't see shit.
God.
All the announcers were talking about was how many holes he was punching in the mat. But yeah, and then the second Charles was able to get back to his feet, he was immediately right back on the attack, walking Beneil down. The head kick is landed partially, and that's kind of what started it off. And then he just blitzed him like I thought he could. Beneil is susceptible to that, and he dropped him with a big right. As Omar said, he thought about taking the neck, and then he just saw that the hammer fists were the way, and he put Beneil out. You cannot make a bigger statement than he made in that spot while you have this Poirier-Gaethje fight kind of hanging over you that could also produce a number one contender. For him to go out and do that in a fight that so many people thought he would lose, and then to have the crowd treating him like he was friggin' George St. Pierre. I mean, it was crazy. And then he gets on the mic and he busts out some English with zero warning and catches all of us off guard. He's got the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. He throws down the challenge to fight Islam again. You can't script it better for it to go in a way where it's like everyone's saying, maybe Poirier Gaethje doesn't matter right now. Maybe we just have to do Islam Charles again. I mean, I don't know if that's definitely what we're getting, but he did everything he could to push it in that direction.
Well, to be fair, Dana White did say that the next fight looks like it's going to be Charles and Islam and that he's excited to make that rematch. So that's positive.
Right. Yeah. But then someone asked about Poirier Gaethje, and he said, well, we'll have to see. So that's why I'm saying, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, out of all three of those, I'd rather see the Charles fight anyway.
See, it's just tough because he's the only one that's fought Islam. So I don't know if they're going to be like, and I'm, you would think Poirier Gaethje is going to be amazing, and maybe one of them knocks out the other, and that whoever that is has a ton of buzz, and then whoever that is gets to say, Islam hasn't fought me yet. So there'll be an argument for sure.
What do you think about there being some sort of interim title in place?
Dude.
And then Islam goes and fights at fucking 170 or something.
No. Oliveira already beat fucking Poirier and Gaethje. I don't need to see that again. And they were recent. Islam needs to defend his fucking belt.
It's true. It's true.
UFC's doing some weird shit nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, dude, given
all these guys waited while he fought Volk, they can't wait again.
Yeah.
But another man that called the Charles win, one of the few, is Mike. So give Mike his credit as well.
Thank you.
What'd you think?
I felt like when they were on the ground, I felt like, yes, I was impressed that Beneil was unafraid to go to the ground with Charles, but I also felt like Charles wanted to be there on his back, almost to like, I don't know. I felt like Charles was also, they were both fighting for control. And that's what I love about high-level jiu-jitsu is that you can be in complete control even when you're the one on your back. And what I thought was telling was that when Charles wanted to get up, he just got up. He was like, all right, get the fuck off me. We're getting back on the feet. And he just shoved Beneil off of him and got right back up. And yeah, man, Charles is Muay Thai. It has come quite a ways over the years, and he is very dangerous. Everybody thinks about the Poiriers and the Gaethjes in terms of the heavy hitters at 155, but do not sleep on Charles Oliveira anymore. The man has filled out his frame. He has grown into his body, and he has great size for 155 in and of himself. This is a guy who fought at featherweight. Sure. And
which is mind-blowing to think
tremendous win. And the way that he won that fight over a fighter at the caliber of a Beneil Dariush, let's run it back for the belt right now. I'm ready for it. We're ready for it. America is ready for it.
I mean, so what is it now at this point? Because I think they've got Islam lined up for this fight in October for Abu Dhabi. I don't even think they have an opponent for him, but I think they just know that they want to put him in that card. So I guess throw Charles in with that.
Which sucks because
what, 4 or 5 months away?
Wasn't the last fight in Abu Dhabi too? When Charles fought him? Yeah, it was. So. I just looked it up. Yeah, that sucks for Charles. Like, fucking let him fight in America at least. Doesn't have to be Brazil, but 2 Abu Dhabis, not fair.
And you know what's really weird too is when Nunes pointed out that as she was retiring, she's like, "Right now, I'm the only Brazilian champ in the UFC, and now there will be none for this moment in time." That's so weird that there are no. Out of how many are there? Like a dozen belts.
Yeah. What a time in MMA for there not to be any Brazilian champs. Not one.
Not one in the UFC.
And not only for there not to be any Brazilian champs, but for there to be 3 Mexican champs.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, with the interim, right? Yeah.
It's a wild time.
It sure is, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, heavyweight Jones, light heavyweight Jamal Hill, middleweight Izzy, welterweight Leon, lightweight Islam, featherweight Volk, bantamweight Aljo, flyweight Moreno, women's featherweight and bantamweight were both Nunes. Now they're both vacant. Women's flyweight, Grasso, and women's strawweight, Weili. No brasileiros.
Yeah, and it seems like the biggest hope for Brazil really at this point is Pantoja and Oliveira.
Yeah.
And Norma Dumont.
We are single-handedly making Norma Dumont into a meme on this show. It is why.
As long as she knows it's an appreciation, we bring her up as an appreciation for the fact that she is the sole proprietor of 145 at this point.
Yeah, we're not knocking her in any way. It's
No.
just that she's
She wins.
only fighter in an entire division.
What's there to knock? The girl wins.
She's the only fighter. And they won't give her the belt. She's just in the division. It's like she's standing in a room by herself. Okay, let's move on. You guys ready?
Like legit, she's probably fought. She's fought
So
more
many.
fights at 145 than Amanda Nunes has. I think.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Could be,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can move on. I'll just say that for Beneil, I would like to see him get another high-profile shot. Like, I know this didn't go his way, but he was supposed to fight Islam. It got taken away from him. Yes, he got a big chance here. It didn't go his way, but I feel like he's earned it, that I'd like to see him get one more big name. So I would like to see the loser of Poirier and Gaethje get matched with Dariush.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'm at too with it, to be honest.
And part of me is afraid they're going to be like, all right, Beneil, like, you're fighting fucking Jalen Turner. Like,
I was gonna say Matt Frivola, but yes, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah,
too.
right.
yeah, I hope not.